Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to the first Jump Adventures development stream. My name is Daniel. Today we're going to implement a notification system for the game. Just let me show me the screen for a second. I hope the music is not too loud because, well, it's been a while since I streamed here on YouTube. Alright, so before we start, I'd like to maybe explain what we'll be doing today. Just let me close all of the things to not spoil anything. So, essentially, if you haven't read the blog post that I wrote, hold on. You probably know that the game now received a brand new customization system, which essentially allows you to customize your character however you want, using the various skins and colors that you can unlock using the in-game currency that is called Essence. And one of the most important parts in all of this sort of unlocks and progression game loop is to be able to actually Okay, it's fine. I thought my screen is getting recorded not correctly. Right, so the most important part of all of this unlock slash gameplay loop is to be able to inform the player when they unlock something, because it's not really, at the moment, it's not really clear what sort of things are happening outside of the gameplay space. So, like, for example, when you're playing the level and you collect some of the essence, you have no idea to see if you have even unlocked something. So to help with that, I'm going to implement a notification system commonly found in other titles, where you will have a small pop-up at the top saying that, for example, you unlocked a new achievement, you unlocked a new color. And so you'll be able to see that, yes, I did indeed unlock this color, to be able to go into the customization screen that I showed right here and actually unlock that color. Hope you understand what I mean by that. So, for that, let me just open up the editor and start by... Yeah, as you can see, just a quick reminder, because what you're about to see, everything from the menu to the graphics and stuff, is still in alpha. It's pretty much work in progress, and it's not reflective of the final product. So if you see something not being polished or whatever, just keep in mind it's not a final thing. Hope that's reasonable. And let me just move OBS right here and open up my chat. If you have any questions regarding the game, literally any question, as long as it's not something that will be deemed spoiler questions, I'll be glad to ask, since the point of this stream is also to serve as this short Q&A session, because this is one of the rare occasions where I can actually do that. So I would love to answer some of your questions. Alright. So without further ado, let's get started by creating a global script or a global class that will be able to that we will be able to call and create some notifications screen. So usually I call these global classes manager, handler. The only difference is that managers usually, well, I don't really have a set naming scheme and I just name it randomly, but usually handlers are those that handle data, for example, or anything that involves data, and managers are usually the collections of functions or methods. Yeah. Hey mate, hello. Welcome to the stream. Alright, so let's start by creating a notification handler class. Though, as I mentioned, it would be probably a better idea to name this a notification manager, since it will be mostly just methods you can call globally. And that will be a node, and derived from node, which is basically those. Maybe wait for people to gather. Well, I had planned this stream to start exactly at 8 PM, but yeah. Well, I'm not taking it too fast, so I think people will be able to not miss most of the parts. So I'll be very in depth about certain things. Probably should have made a PSA on the blog itself, because people will think that this is going to be a very light stream, but I'm not really a good programming teacher or a person that is a good educator in the first place, so. And to start, whenever I write a new class or a system, I usually think about how I want to use it in the first place. So for the notification manager, this is the most straightforward, which is just a single method of the class, like add notification. And I think I'll be able, well, it's logical that I'll want to accept content string. Hi, Chapa. No, it's a content string, and maybe a string for a title. That'll be pretty useful. No, I don't even have those just yet. Right, and it will be pretty great to also make it nicer and bind these together into a class of sorts. With a constructor that also takes a title and the contents. Title contents. And then I'll just make two properties that will just access these private members, and we are good to go. Title equals title, contents equals contents. It should be good, pretty good. Okay, I'll let no throw to get you some. Please don't. Okay, I would love that too. Okay. Right. So, how do you want to handle actions? Sorry, notifications. Well, we probably want to have multiple notifications on screen. Like for instance, when we have a bunch of them. Just let me visualize this. So we have our menu, right, with the play game, settings, credits, exit, whatever. Pretty much. Let me just make the brush a bit smaller, maybe. And let's just imagine what will happen when we receive, for example, a single achievement. So a single achievement would be just a box at the top that says with a title and the contents, with maybe an image on the right, something like that. And the question is, do we actually want to have multiple notifications on screen that get spawned, or do we actually want to spawn them one by one in a sort of like this sequential fashion that, for example, we get one notification, then it disappears, and you get second notification or whatever. That's a pretty good question, because this would depend how hard it will be to implement animations and other stuff like that. Okay. Okay. I see your suggestions loud and clear, but unfortunately that's the way I'm gonna make the stream. Maybe in the future I'll... Also, I don't really... There's not really a problem in writing this in chat. I don't ban people for expressing their opinions about the quality of the stream, so... Yeah. So maybe something closer to that would be just make a stack. Sorry, system. Okay. So a simple stack should be enough. But I'm not sure. Hold on. Or a queue. I think I just need to make a queue, but though I'm not sure in which namespace that is. Probably in systems.collection, but yes, it is. Private queue notification, maybe? Yeah. Just gonna make it exit generic parameter. Notifications. I'm just gonna make a constructor right here that just initiates that queue. Shouldn't be... Doesn't matter what you want. Ah, that generic, right. And it's going to be, yeah, just initialized like that. Okay. What? Yeah. Oh right, I forgot to disable Steam for a sec, because you're gonna get the notifications at the bottom. It's not something I want to do. Right, so where we are. Config, you are aware you can just write in chat on YouTube, right? I will not be mad at people just telling their opinions. Just, it's really not convenient to look at my phone in Discord and on YouTube and chat. It's not a big matter if you just write it on YouTube. You're not supposed to read the chat on that chat on stream. What do you mean? I'm a good streamer. I will read the chat. Okay, so that should be good for now, though. I'm not sure how this key gonna behave. It's really rare when I use collections like that. So let me just add the... Yeah, I hope I will not spoil anything here, because this is the scary territory of the of the classes. Wait, can I just search here? Or I'm blind. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Okay. How much do... No, we are not doing. We are not doing this. Okay. hope you're clear. Okay, let me just for debug do something like that. Yes. Okay. Well, there's not a lot I could do about the music, because, well, it's either I use NCS, which is very stereotypical at this point and very repetitive, or I use, well, non-copyright lo-fi music, which will not get me sued. So I don't really have... Wait, I forgot to rename the class itself, because it still says handler, not it's supposed to be manager. Okay. So, sorry, if you have music that better music I can use on stream, you're free to send it to me. Okay, let me just do something like this for debug, because I'm not sure if it works correctly. Notification added plus equals, maybe add a simple function. I mean method. Okay. Maybe something along the lines of just bringing this thing out. Now let's debug this thing. I see why this it gets called in a construction. There's no way it can. Well, I'm supposed to call it like that. Then it will work. Well, it kind of works. So the rest is a matter of UI presentation or stuff, and a separate class for that. Okay. So it pretty much works. Well, at least on the code-wise, but now there's a matter of making sure there's for a more exciting part, which is just making sure it displays a little block of text here whenever you receive a notification, which is more exciting than just bringing the thing out in the console. Okay. Adjust the size a bit. Maybe not 300 pixels, but maybe around 150, I guess. Yeah, should be fine, I suppose. Maybe a bit wider. I just need to make it thinner. Maybe like this, yeah. Let's see how it looks. Elevator soundtracks are cool. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I hope the Godot won't crash, because whenever I do something that it likes to crash, which is not really fun, I suppose. Well, okay, now it's time to actually make the whole UI presentation for this thing. So to do that, I have a set of my own classes which I use for this sort of task, which is under jump.ui namespace, I know, which is a pretty good name for a namespace. And for that I'll just go with usual UI elements. Okay. Watch it crash. Oh, well, that was close. But anyway. Now, if I just do something like that, will it work? Kinda does, yeah. Okay. Elevator OST, exactly. Really exciting music, I know. Just gets you in the mood of intense gaming or whatever. Yeah. I don't like how I just do this directly. I'll just make separate functions for methods for that. God, I keep saying functions while they're methods. Keep mixing it too. Member functions. Yeah. Okay, now it's a matter of just doing something like this. Here's the deal. Probably want to make a separate class for a notification as well. But then it will conflict with this. Maybe I'll just rename this thing into notification overlay UI. So it's a bit more clear that it's over an overlay over multiple UI elements, not an UI element in itself. And the scene itself will be just notification overlay, because UI is this was not gonna be fitting when you're gonna spend hours in fixing a bug or something. Well, let's hope I won't be fixing any bugs and it will work perfectly fine. The first try, but this is overly optimistic, but you can always hope. Okay. So where was I? Right. So for this notification element, I just want to create a new script, obviously, because we need some logic to drive it. Who would expect? Gonna be a boring stream then. Well, that's the reality of game development and software engineering in general. Most fun is when the entire stream's trying to fix a single bug, exactly. But you're probably the only person in the entire chat that's gonna be trying to do that, but yeah. Okay, so let me just do something like this. And here I'm not sure if I want to just use notification directly, Or do I want to just make a separate data class for that? Because I usually do a separate data class, it's rare when I just... But since it's a simple class which just contains data, it's already a data class in itself, so I think I just use it directly, so... Notification UI. Right. So, for display, I'm not into the approaching of making achievement. I think that achievement blocks will not go with easy and chill flow of the game. What do I think about it? Well, achievements by themselves, well, I think you're making a fair point, because most of the time in games, achievements are usually strict about, I don't know, about getting points or whatever, but I believe that achievements is a great addition to Jump Adventure simply because the game lacks even a simple goal or an objective, in a sense that the entire game is about completing levels, and there's not really much depth into it. So adding as much content like that, like achievements, collectibles or whatever, is essential in making sure the game is as deep as it can get without being overly over-engineered in gameplay. But most achievements in games are, yes, are indeed overly competitive, I believe. But achievements is not also about throwing a ton of challenges at the player. You also need to make sure they are well designed as well. And well, that's basically what my goal is for the Jump Adventures, not to make achievements that are just boring stuff like die 20 times on level X or collect 1 more billion trillion essence. I'll try my best to make them as challenging and interesting to unlock as possible. Though making a strictly easy and chill game is not a good... it's really hard as well, because my original plan for the game was also to not include achievements, collectibles or whatever, because I also felt it could be very competitive. But over the time I just decided that not including these, well, first of all, make a market for that. A market for that is almost non-existent, and that's the truth of the entire thing. And it's also harder by design, because if you have an easy chill game, you also need to make sure that the game is also interesting while being easy and chill, and this is a challenge in itself. Make achievements that are gonna define the 100% completion for most players. That's what Celeste does. Honestly, Celeste is a pretty great exercise in my opinion for replay value for a platformer game, because usually, from what I've seen, I haven't played Celeste, I've just seen some gameplay of it, but I really want to get to play Celeste, is that Celeste is very clever with the development resources when it comes to post-game content, as well as the general design of the game. It's also very simple, but I really like how it uses already established systems to create endgame content. So for example, you have all of these strawberries and collectibles you can collect, and the thing is, implementing collectibles in itself is not a really hard programming task, but the point is that when you collect all of the collectibles in all of the levels, you also unlock additional content by unlocking different types of collectibles, which you need to collect to progress, well, to closer to the end game content. And I believe that's pretty great, because, well, there's a community for that, and it pretty much works. And, well, it's not hard to implement as well. There's a lot of more stuff you can achieve that don't have official achievements even in the official game. Well, I might be misunderstanding the because as I mentioned, I haven't played the game. I've only seen like a couple of videos of it on it, and I find some design implementations of it really interesting, and I'm taking notes as well. Maybe some of this stuff, well, not all of this stuff will make it into my game, but at least most of it is sure is going to be. Right. So on display, on display, we just want to play an animation, pretty much. That's all we really want to do, as well as for the hide. That's pretty much everything all these methods gonna do. Not particularly exciting, I know, but the bread and butter of this entire thing is on update elements, which basically will make sure all of the elements like text, labels and stuff are here with the actual data. So let's make sure it is the case. Because those require a higher skill level, so you gotta do some BC sides to get more skill before going into chapters 8 and especially 9. Yeah, that's what I mean. As I said, I might misunderstand some things because I haven't played the game, as I mentioned countless times before. But yeah, that's basically what I mean. It's well, maybe not how it exactly looks like in Celeste, but mostly from the implementation slash design slash point of view, right? Okay. So I need to. Okay, maybe the. Okay, let me just see how it looks like. Because I'm afraid it's gonna be too large, but. Oh. That's kind of interesting. I'm not sure why it appeared at the. I think I know why. Because it's speaking of late content in games. Well, it sort of works, but it's first of all, it's blocking all of the input, which is how do I make it that? Custom levels is a great way to add replayability to your game, assuming people will be actually creating something. That's also the idea behind making the level editor a primary focus of the game, because the original plan was to have 4 worlds and include level editor as an update, but I discovered that it will be better if level editor is something you get as fast as possible, because, well, if the game releases and nobody wants to play it, well, let's be real, there's not a big chance people will be actually interested in playing the game. But if they do, they will see that the game already includes a level editor, will try to mess around with it, maybe create something, and then they will probably, well, leave the game or something like that, or they will just discover uh, already existing levels that are in the workshop. So the idea is, the faster you get a level, the faster you get the level editor, the more chances you can. There's people will actually start making the levels and not leave the game immediately. Holy, your voice is so deep now. Hi. Yes, a lot of things have changed. I know. Okay, so let's just continue. I have no idea why this overlay just plugs the input. How do I disable this? You just don't fight swear words because you're gonna get me banned. Just kidding, just I have no idea how to disable the filter. if you even can. Well, I can show these messages, but you know, maybe this one and this one. Okay, here. Okay. Didn't hear you for a long time. Haha. Same. How are you? Okay. For some reason, this notification blocks all the input. Just not something I really like. Maybe because it's... Maybe it's because how the UI system works in Godot, or... Ah, right. I forgot. Though I'm not sure why it did work like that, but... Anyway. So it's fixed. Just let me take a look how it looks in terms of scaling or and text sizes or whatever, just to make sure it's... Yeah, the font is a little bit too big for my taste. That's a name I haven't seen in a long time. Yeah, it's been a while. Well, I can just use the default theme I made, GA theme, and see how it looks like on this one, or I will just go with a custom... you know, it's fine though. I'm not sure why the panel is not changed. Maybe because it's in editor, but that's a spoiler right here. You have some sort of a level editor in game already, but it's mostly just prototype UI. Still getting Daniel stuff in recommendations. Then you're gonna do gaming stream. I don't know, I'm actually not a really good gamer. If you don't remember the stream we did last time, you're gonna see that I'm not a good gaming streamer. It's actually fun to see that progress. Yeah, it's pretty bizarre, because a year ago I wouldn't have thought I would have a game on Steam officially released with a page and stuff, and I will be posting announcements, but here we are. Oh, maybe not 32 pixels, that's a big margin. I think 1616 by 16 is a pretty good margin. Should be fine. Maybe an icon could work, because I think it would be a great idea to just display. But our stream when I want to see more of it in action. I'll probably not be making any gaming streams. Sorry guys, but I'm having problems with streaming myself doing programming. Imagine if I did gaming instead. That'd be pretty cringe. Texture rectangle. Okay, let me just try to put an icon or whatever and see how it looks like. Cringe. Okay, let me just put whatever icon is there. Keep center maybe, and minimum size of 42, I guess. Something-ish. Oh, wow. I think it would be pretty funny. Oh, just because I set it on the y-axis, yeah. You just gotta release your gamer energy. You can always DM me on Steam, on the... Oh, Jesus. Oh wow, keep aspect centered. Yeah. You can always DM me on Discord and call me or whatever and we can arrange something. Oh yeah, by the way. I still have these as icons for whatever reason in game files. Wow. Let me just put a good old icon PNG. PNG. Exactly. Maybe this texture direct is also going to be in a container, because I want to... Though I'm not sure why this panel is so stretched. Put Adidas Adventures in the game somewhere. Anywhere. Well, how about no? Oh, that's just a matter of a default panel theme. Okay, fair enough. Okay, maybe I just need to make this smaller. Sorry, here. Oh, wow. Okay, that... You see, that's why I love working on UI though, because I do not like that answer. Happens. Okay, maybe then there's no point in center container. Okay, maybe... Okay, assuming, for example, let's just say I have this, no, cancel, get back, okay. Let's just assume I have this circle sprite, which I use for colors in the background. Yeah, that's going to be way too big. So maybe instead of 64, I just can do 24, but give me, okay, fine, 32. Then I just put it in a center container. That's pretty much it. And for the borders, I'm just gonna do a very light border. Okay, that's not a really light border, but dude, no, sorry, I'm not a game streamer. I'm barely even a streamer. Do you expect me to get out of my comfort zone? I don't really like that. Okay. I think it's fine. What do you guys think? Maybe I just gonna do new color unlocked. Say color white. White. Just white. Or not, let's make it more exciting, like blue. I think this border is way too... The corners are way too harsh. Let me just put that right here, where to play around with it. I ran out of chocolate. That sucks. Go get more chocolate. Okay. Well, I wouldn't say I'm very happy with it, but for now it should do the trick. It will probably be changed 5 times, 500 times in the process of development, so let's just leave it like that. It's 10:50 p.m., Daniel. Then, the music stopped. I do not like this. Okay, it's back. Maybe I can make this, maybe not the actual, maybe title's gonna be in bold. Hello. Why does YouTube keep holding back the messages? Do you have UI masks in Godot or sprite masks? You probably don't. Or if you do, it's such a bad and ridiculous system. No offense to Godot contributors, because I think they do a pretty good job overall. But the masking system, UI, well, first of all, the UI masking is inexistent, and the only masking you get is very inconvenient, so to say. And it gets sort of improved in 4.0, but from what I've seen, it's not really a big improvement. But yeah, we have to deal with in Godot. Usually, just you deal with stuff by re-implementing it from scratch by yourself, or just making modifications in the engine itself. Which, yeah, that's pretty much how most. Man, you sure are spamming. Nah. What is Jump Adventures? It's a funny platformer game I've been working on for the past 2 years now at this point. It's a chill, minimalistic platformer game, which has, well, basically just a platformer game, not gonna lie. You can check it out on Steam in the description. I wanted to suggest a potentially cool looking thing for the notifs, but I guess I'm out of luck. Well, yeah, that's pretty much what I have to deal with in Godot. There's a ton of cool ideas I want to implement when it comes to it, but I simply can't because, well, it's either I have to spend even more time to implement things or just roll with that. Okay. Did you say years? How can I learn about the snow? No Steam link in the description. What do you mean? It should be. Wait, hold on. I just want to make sure. Maybe World Space UI, World UI. Nice. Oh, there's none. You're right. Wait, hold on. Give me a sec. Sorry. Let me fix it real quick. Okay. Amazing. Yeah, sorry guys, I just... Well, I thought I put it, but it turns out I didn't. That's... That's pretty unfortunate. Okay. Should be good now. We probably need to refresh the browser now to see it. But yeah. Compiled? Not sure what that is. In like 20 minutes from source on a 5950X. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy about new AMD processors. They're pretty good, especially in single core performance. Yeah. But we need to try to compile Unreal from source and see how it goes. Because that's that's one hell of a big engine, if I say so myself. Because it took me hours on my old Intel to compile it. And it probably like a 100 gigs of space on disk to compile it from source, something along these lines. Okay. Or maybe not Unreal, but let like say Firefox or something like that, because Firefox is like using Rust, and Rust is pretty slow compiler. Well, because it does a lot of the things. Might compile Unreal at some point for the fun of it, but I don't think I will use it since I like to make my games in OpenGLFC. Yeah, that's fair. Unreal is probably the biggest project I had to compile on my machine, and this is the one I remember the best having problems with when it comes to compile times and sizes. I was surprised at how long it takes for me to compile Godot. Not like it's taking too long, but 10 minutes for a debug build, that's... Well, to be fair, it was a clean compile. I compiled Liberwolf. It was like 40 minutes. Yeah, like some of the bigger projects are really fun to compile, especially like bigger Rust projects. If I'm not mistaken, Firefox is in most written in Rust, though I might be wrong here. Linux kernel compiles like 7 minutes. What do you mean, my Linux kernel? Could you elaborate on that? Oh, maybe I can... OpenGL Crin. What do you suggest then, config? Vulkan? Okay, not gonna lie, I did try a bit of Vulkan and I don't really want to try it once again. This is Gentoo. That's pretty impressive. Like, I don't want to start a distro war in my chat, but on my stream, but I've been using Fedora for a few months at this point, and it's probably the only distro that first of all works out of the box, and the package manager itself is fine. Like, I'm not sure why people keep comparing package managers. Like, the only time you're gonna use a package manager really is when you want to install a single package and then you just forget about it. Unless you're trying to set up a C dev environment for something, then it's pretty painful, but I'm not this type of person, so maybe wise. That's why Fedora is a good fit. But other than that, I've been pretty satisfied with the experience. Definitely, I tried a bunch of distros like Manjaro, Ubuntu, PokeOS, like a ton of distros, big or small, Debian or Arch based, and so far I really like Fedora. Okay, let me just show this one, because just so you know, I don't really have strict rules in my chat, but please keep common sense and don't like insult each other and write racist comments or whatever. So I just get on my desktop, Fedora on my laptop, and Debian on my home server. Yeah, I think it's fair. Like, I don't really like to laugh at people for their OS choices anymore. I mean, I was a pretty annoying kid back in the day where I used to say, yo, use Linux because it's much better. But the reality of the situation is people just want to have stuff that works, not stuff they want to play around with. And if you Linux, like any Linux, if a Linux distro works for you, it works for you. Like nobody's going to convince you otherwise. If Windows works for you, Windows works for you. There's no point in convincing the person that uses Windows that they should use Linux, because there's really not that much of a point for them. You know what I mean? Green PFP dice. Yeah, the green PFP dice, we don't talk about these. We do not talk about these. I'm a different person now. No, Config, please, no. Just stop. I beg you. Don't ask about Dollar Clicker 2, Dank World Archive or whatever, just gonna give me PTSD. Okay. Basement Zero is much better than Dollar Clicker, to be honest with the remake. Please, no. Stop it. Okay. Let's not talk. No, Sandy, please. No. Oh my god. Wait. How long it was when we started this thing? It's probably a few years ago, like maybe 4. Like, Jesus, it's been a really long time ago. Was like 13 or 14 back at the time. Okay. Okay, back on track, because we left from here. May I interest... No. You know, okay, to be honest, Zirka it was called like that. You kept calling it Kiriko for whatever reason. Actually, well, using Electron for a text as a text tag backbone for a game is not really a great idea, but we kind of sort of like predicted where the entire like sort of native JS game is gonna head towards. And it is heading towards either an Electron wrapper or simply a C++ engine with a JS interpreter, which yeah, where C++ is used for as a runtime and JS for scripting. So to be fair, I mean, at first I remember we had a Zirka as using Electron as a runtime and to run a JS engine, and then you had an idea to sort of like use C++ for UI in Qt, I believe, something like that. It's been a really long time ago. Yeah, well, working on the... I wouldn't call this work on the actual engine, because all I did was procrastinate, and... Yeah, it's been... Those were some those were bizarre times, like, well, yeah, but it all happened. I learned a ton of stuff. I'm really grateful for you teaching some of the things, and other people teaching me some things as well through mistakes or uh, stuff like that. And I feel much more confident as a game developer now than I did way back in the time. So thank you. Even though nothing came out of this, I just have this mindset now. I've been really regretting that, wasting everyone's time for a long while, but no, I think it's really great I had a chance to do this safely, relatively safely. Because most people don't really have a chance to work with other people on various projects, and when that happens, it usually goes wrong. And what we all did was just a bunch of hobby work, so I'm really happy it was like that, but not like in an actual company or whatever. Okay. So back on track is on display. So for play display animations, just want to toggle the visibility. Just nothing fancy for now. Just want to see if it spawns the actual notification. Notification overlay. Me when Teamly doesn't know how to use Git correctly. Actually had that happen. Yeah, exactly. Like stuff like that is really helpful when you get a chance to work in a team, and most people don't get a chance to work in a team. Most people maybe have some small projects they tinkered around with themselves, but they don't really have any team projects like I did to some extent. Because I did a mixture of both. I had some hobby projects, and then I had some people I worked with. So I'd say it's a very useful experience, because I learned how to use Git, how to set up things, how to, well, communicate, direct people. It's all really useful knowledge. It's really useful, especially now that I work with artists who assist me in the game. So yeah. So back on track, let me just go into main.cs and try to once again try to add a notification through the new notification manager. Yeah, that's how you access scheme object sync though. In the scene tree. I know, it's cursed. Oh. Okay, let me just remove this whole notification that was used for placeholder. I think that's because main appears. Yeah, I think that's because main appears. I could help you, but I'm certain Daniel will not appreciate such content in his family-friendly Christian stream. Not sure what you're talking about. That's because display is never called. Yeah. Now it works. And that's because the file is called notification, but this class is actually called notification UI, so I need to rename this. Now it doesn't crash. Hello world, nice, new unlock or whatever, test. Okay, so maybe instead of doing it's in the main, how about it just for debug purposes? Of course, I'm gonna do a very I'm gonna do a very weird thing, and I'm gonna, well, ignore the script. It's a mess. Okay, I hate to admit this, but it's probably one of the worst written scripts in the entire game, because it was even worse back in the time. I don't even know what's going on here. um, it's probably the last thing I would show in a I would have shown in a on a on a job interview. Or maybe, you know what? Let me just. There's a reason why I have this horrendous debug overlay thing as well, so that there's a different place I can write horrendous code. See ya, Chapo. I think you should focus more on the actual game than code quality. The thing that's still Silk taught me in the game jam is that, not sure if you remember, well, I'm pretty sure you remember that game, is that, well, code quality is actually a pretty important concern even in games, because while yes, technically it takes longer time to write quality code, but whenever something bad happens, this bad code doesn't backfire at you, and believe me, a lot of times bad stuff happen in games as well, and it's better to have good code that you can understand, at least understand. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a perfect architecture, because things change, but if it's actual readable code, if something bad happens, like it sometimes did for us during the development of Still Silk, you can just go in there, fix it without any problems. And if you're writing the code, just to get something out there, it's going to be a bit harder. And there's been a few bugs in the process of developing Jump Adventures that if I didn't write decent code, I wouldn't be able to fix easily. So, without rewriting some major portions. So, in reality, is that yes, it shouldn't be the biggest concern or focus of your development process, but you should keep in mind that it's all tech debt, and if you plan to work on a project that's going to take you years, it's important to have code quality, to keep the quality of the code as well. There we go, I'm just gonna do something like that. It's very bad for performance, but it's debug tools. Performance is the least that I care about. Boom. Nice. We have notifications. Yay. But now I realize that the actual queue won't work. Because it needs to add the notifications into the queue, and then it should poll, like, run a timer or whatever, where it will just show a new one after a while. Well, I know that most successful indie games have cheat code because the devs are good game designers but bad programmers. Well, writing bad code doesn't mean you won't have a shippable product in the end, because as you were saying in games, the actual game design, graphics, and stuff. Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure why YouTube keeps blocking all this. You're making a fair point, but one doesn't depend on the other, and the good code will make your game automatically fun, and if your game is boring, your game is boring. But you should keep in mind that if you have a project that's gonna span you years, you should put some effort into making sure your code is alright. Well, maybe not the best of the best, but that it's alright. Like even bigger titles like Cyberpunk and suffer from some of the code spaghetti, and it's totally fine because sometimes you don't really have much time for making beautiful code, but you should at least have some effort to do that. To write code. Put some effort into writing code. Nice. Okay, now here's the deal. I'm not sure how to implement the timer because I have two options. I can use .NET's stopwatch, or I can use Godot's timer, which is synced with a scene tree, though I'm not sure how to use Godot's timer, so let me just open the documentation for that and see how it looks like. Okay. Actually, is Jump Adventures trademarked? You have this funny DM sign logo. Jump Adventures is not trademark, and this symbol is used for two reasons. First reason is aesthetics. The second reason is that I have this symbol means that this is an unregistered trademark. So every time you think of a name, you pretty much own this name, and it's pretty much a trademark, but it's not legally registered in a patent office. So you have limited sort of like abilities when it comes to this trademark. So if you want to sue people for using this name you're using for whatever reason, you should probably register it, so that nobody can also make a Jump Adventures. Yeah. So that nobody can also make a game called Jump Adventures. But yeah, if it's not because I like to brag about my trademark, because it's a very bad name, but because extra, it's just for aesthetics purposes. Okay. Well, it's pretty straightforward, so I'm not sure how complicated it is. Well, yeah, it shouldn't be that. Well, since it's in Node anyway. Okay, let me just do private timer. Oh, there's also a new scene tree timer. Ah, yes, I forgot about that. Because there's a scene tree twin, and yeah, I could just, yeah, exactly. I can just probably I can, instead of doing this, I can do create timer or catch tree. Create time. Yeah, exactly. Then I'm not sure why you can do this with a node, but whatever. Now the question is, can I just evade that like normally? Okay, so maybe instead of doing get notification, I probably want to instead of doing this, just and then just let me leave two actions for that. Hope I'm writing this correctly. Why does YouTube keep okay, I can't believe I'm actually reading it literally on stream. I got to go. 11:20 p.m. See ya. Thanks for coming by. Okay, excuse my poor keyboard abilities. I'm not particularly great at that. Come on. And I'm wondering, can I just do get tree that's create timer and... Cause... How does it work? Is there a C sharp, C sharp scene tree timer? It doesn't seem like I just can. So now I'm doing something like this now. Ah. Yeah, this is exactly the reason why you shouldn't use Godot if you're a C# developer, because it's not how it's supposed to do things. I'm glad that Godot 4 brings a ton of improvements to the C# API, but just keep in mind that this is the reason why I don't do stuff like it. Don't really like writing in Godot when it comes to C#. Okay, maybe just. You know what? Maybe just make it a separate method, so it's a bit more readable. Stop. Okay, thank you. Yield notification to queue. Just copy all of that so I can't be bothered. Time in seconds. Now I can. I'm not sure if I want to use a static notification time. Maybe I just either want to. Maybe I just want to make it a parameter argument here instead. And just parse it here. Sync method, make method a sync. Fine. Yield notification, yeah, then just TQ. I think it should just work like that, but now here's the deal. Maybe I just want to average human read speed. Yeah, I don't think I want to go deep into this rabbit hole and make sure it's different, but yeah, I probably just make a method for a helper method for determining the speed at which it should, like the delay at which it should display the notification based on the average reading speed or whatever. Because, yeah. And then instead of subscribing on notification added, I'm just gonna subscribe to on notification queued. And instead, maybe on notification. You know what? I don't really like this naming. It's not really clear. Maybe I'll leave on notification added, but on notification. Maybe like that. Should be more clear. Yeah, let's just see, cause... And then I want to make a separate action here. Now how do I make sure the actual... Okay, you know what, maybe still doing this... And just, you know what, notification expired. It should be good, I suppose. It should be good. And then this time I should do something like that instead. Would have thought it will take me a while to implement a system like that, but here we are. Unrealistic expectations in game development is nothing new. And then maybe it will be an idea. Maybe... Maybe... Okay, that's a really stupid idea, but I have a... But I think if I do something like that... Nah, don't like this. Well, maybe I just keep... Well, if it's only a single notification... Well, you know what? It will be probably easier if I just figure out how to pass... You know what? Screw it. Just keep it simple. Hmm. Yep. Now it's just a matter of passing all of that in here, which should probably be enough. Private load duration. And now just a simple animation, just like maybe a small. Well, make sure it's visible first and foremost. That's probably a good idea. What's the matter? Oh. Target. Float duration and swing duration maybe? Let's call it something like that, but probably want to set a default variable, so maybe 0.35 seconds, guess. Yeah, let's just see how this animation works for now. Oh, yeah. Low world. It's too slow. 0.1. I think I'm doing this a bit wrong. Maybe I'm doing this a bit wrong. Maybe not. Maybe. Maybe I'm not. Why does it keep using properties instead? That's replacing properties. That's pretty annoying. Okay, and if is not sure if if it shouldn't be a responsibility of notification manager in itself. Like, why should it? Why should other classes do this instead? You know what I'm talking about? But let's see how it works for now. Yeah, it kind of works, but I don't really have a great feeling about this. And then then after a while we should just hide it. gonna be a bit tricky, but I think I've got this. Not sure if it's a great way to do this, but we'll see how it goes. Let's see how it works. It's just a hypothetical situation. It should be a separate method or whatever, but just to see if it's the right way to go. Okay, so for whatever reason, it just displays multiple notifications sometimes. It's probably because I think what happens is that it keeps just randomly. Okay, so I guess it shouldn't be. Maybe I should do something like. I think I'm just way too overcomplicating everything. Maybe. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. You know what? Let's just implement it and see how it goes, cause. Hmm. Jesus, you were quiet for so long. I forgot I was listening to you. I got scared. Sorry. Hmm. Maybe count and notification count is 0. Yeah, it should make sense, but see how it goes. Replace with property. And let's try to use this instead. which this should be inverse. Okay, that's kind of awkward. Wait, what am I doing? It's completely messed up. Oh yeah, you're right. Exactly. Yeah, I just found it. Yeah. Yeah. Should be greater than 0. Yeah, you're right. Or well, actually, it should be. Yeah, I don't like this. It shouldn't be a bool to check for. It should be a signal, like an event or an action that just says that, hey, just display this next notification. Be done with this. I don't really like this at all. So maybe, just maybe, like since we have 2 signals for notification being added and notification being expired, why not just make this a matter of other classes to handle when to display it and when not, and just leave all of this general stuff to this one. Like, why should it care? Like, it already has a time when it should display notification. If, well, our UI just should do one thing, display those notifications. Since we would want to display one notification in the UI, we should ever and ever display only one. So that's pretty much makes sense to not put all of that into the notification manager itself, but rather in UI. So for that, well, I don't really like this approach, but I'll see what I can do about this. Oh, wait. Yeah, I can just mimic the same thing on the... like in the notification manager where I just have a queue. Yeah, just should work pretty much identically. Yeah, exactly. Private queue notification UI elements. And queue notification UI. Maybe, yeah, just do this and then just put it in a queue. And queue. Notification node. Yeah, I don't really like this at all, but I don't really have any other choice. And not sure why IntelliSense complains about this. It's a completely different thing, but okay, and then just do, well, here's our UI element, right? Just do notification UI elements.dequeue, and like basically just hide it. Though, wait a second. Why doesn't it? Ah, notification UI. Well, but doesn't it suggest me to hide it? What? Okay, I think IntelliSense is drunk, and it should pretty much work. I'm pretty confident. Ah, because it's notification, it's supposed to be notification node. Yes. I'm just slippy. Okay. Now it just... Then I just removed... What? Yeah, why should it be also the... like the... matter of this particular UI element if it's it's probably not supposed to do all of that. Okay. And then just... well... I okay, I don't really like this, but... no, it should be here, because we still want to add this to a queue, but... we don't want to display it if it's not even active. But if we just keep on adding objects into the scene, whatever, in like... I don't really like this. Like it all. All just sucks. Wow. Incredible. Wow. You know what? It should... I think it will be much easier if it just was a list of notifications instead, you know? Because right now it doesn't make really much sense. Wait, let me just hide this. Oh, hide all these folders. I'm not supposed to see them. Because what I'm doing is going to be pretty annoying to implement, and I don't really want to do this. Just let's see how it's going to look like when I just put it in a... Yeah, it should be fine, but yeah, you know, I don't really like all of this. Just let me take a look at the notification sizes. Make them identical, or whatever. Center top, and yeah, just see how it will look like. It should be good enough. For now, it's well. It all. Let's see how it performs now. But yeah. Not really a fan of going this route, but since it's an alpha, it's sufficient, I believe. Right. Mm-mm-mm. Oh. Well, it sort of works, but as you can see, it's... well, that's... Yeah, that's gonna be a fix for later. Oh, nice. Could even play the world back. I just need to... Yeah, first of all, I need to remove them. Because all it keeps on spawning the notification. That's not going to be good for the memory consumption if it just keeps on spawning. And here we just want to do... just change this, just the alpha to 0, and tween that, tween method, tween callback even. Object this, and well, yeah, maybe we need the duration. Wait, maybe not. Just that's why I hate Godot API. I need to make separate method just to tween a callback. Which is no longer a case in Godot 4, but just now I'm importing the game to Godot 4. It's getting noisy. You know, when it comes to code base. With this sort of things. Okay, what is it? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Not sure why this funny animation happens. Okay. Do I need to make a delay? It's kind of weird, because... What? Ah, I know why. Maybe it should just increment the delay, yeah. Maybe it should just, instead of doing this, maybe it should just increment the delay on each notification. Yeah. Because it's kind of natural private read-only, no, maybe not, private float current delay. And private read-only float delay. Set it to point like 1 second maybe. And then I just gonna do duration, current delay plus delay, and then delay duration plus current delay. Let's see how it goes. I don't really have a great feeling about this, but well. It's a bit better. Holy S, a Daniel stream. Nice. Yeah. Welcome, Ilias. We're doing some programming. And it broke. Nice. I need to... Oh, let's just not do this. The whole point is just to make it work, right? Like it's an alpha. Maybe I'll figure out it later, but fundamentally it works. Like, we have this nice menu background. Thank you. It's going to probably change since it's an alpha build with, I don't know, placeholders and stuff, but thank you. Yeah, I think it's just an animation being bugged or whatever. Maybe instead of... I don't know. I'd have to experiment with that. Don't really like how it looks like. Just let's ignore for a sec. There's okay. Let me. You know what? Let me just fix that real quick. 'Cause I'm a bit bugged by this. Okay. Wow. That's That's gonna be interesting to fix. Because if I put it... Wait, no. Wait, actually works now. Wait, well, I want to put this in a separate layer, but without any post-processing. That's why I chose to do so. Okay, nice. Got this now. That's fixed. Do we want to make icons now? We can also add icons real quick for the notifications. Yes, we can, but... I think I'll leave it for this sort of thing for the next time. Like, for my own private development. Because, well, at its core it's pretty much done, right? Well, it's not perfect, but the system works. So... Before I'll go, maybe I can add a little margin at the top, so it's not really that, you know, how do I say this, close to the edge of the screen, because that's not really nice looking. Yeah, I think the reason why it might look weird is because it's not really that... The movement itself isn't really animated, but I'm not sure how to make that nicer. But, yeah. Now let's just see how it looks like with full screen on, and check this out. That's pretty readable, so... Yeah, it should be good. Okay, so I guess that's it for the notification system. Though, well... I need to move the splash layer a bit further as well. I mean, a bit at the top. Yeah, no, it's working fine. As I said, the animations and stuff will be fixed closer to the release or beta or whatever, but well, the whole point of alpha is to add features as quickly as possible and see what works, what not. So expect these notifications changing in the final build. So that's all I can say for the moment. Overall, well, yeah. Now it's time to commit all of the changes and yeah. Notification system. And yeah, that was it for today's stream, I guess. Thank you everyone for coming. If you have any questions about the game, feel free to ask them, because I'm sure there's some stuff that someone would want to get an answer to, but yeah, I'll wait for a few minutes and then I'll go. Wait, you know what? I'm thinking maybe I should probably just add a new separate view. Yeah, so yeah, it's a Q&A, but I figured it's a better idea if I actually, can you say how many wishlist GA has on Steam? Steam, sorry. I'm just curious. Not a lot, but I'll tell you. Nah, you know what? Maybe I just need to make a separate scene for Q&A. Hold on. How do I make sure that studio mode? Okay. Transition. Okay, just hold on a sec. I just need to make a new scene real quick with the Q&A so that people don't get confused whenever that comes up. Font. Can I just type in here? No? Yeah. Sustainable? Yeah, just give me a sec. When it comes to wishlists, for some reason my Steam page doesn't load for checking these statistics. Oh, okay, it's here. It's working now. Okay, let me tell ya. At this very moment, there's 34 wishlists, which is not really that much, but well, better than nothing, I suppose. Transform center to screen. Oh, my pronunciation is bad. Okay. Transition. Here we are, Q&A. I really like this new OBS UI, by the way. It's much nicer than it was before. Really good job. That's not for a start, I guess. Honestly, yeah, I thought there'll be like 5 wishes maybe at most, but honestly, I'm surprised that a lot of these people who wishlisted are not even. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I pretty much all I did when it comes to marketing was just a Twitter post, and yeah, that's and a few DMs here and there. Yeah, it's pretty impressive, I'd say. Well, I kind of expected. Well, there's direction to chase when it comes to improve when it comes to this, but yeah, especially well, the truth is this game is Jump, which is not really so to say really compelling to market. Like, there's not a lot I can offer new when it comes to gameplay. It's my first commercial game, so I really want to play it safe when it comes to the gameplay, the presentation, and stuff. So that's why it's hard to market it. It's not really that unique. That's the whole truth, I suppose. So if you're a potential player watching this stream and considering buying the game, first of all, I want to thank you. I'd like to thank you, but the second of all is that, well, yeah. Any more questions when it comes to the game? It can be literally any question, as long as it's not really that spoilerish. More like questions, what's gonna be in the game or something that they will leave later, for later. Because, yeah, not only that, plus you have this sort of information on the Steam page. Uh, I think so. Did you keep dialogues in the game? Um, Unfortunately, I had to cut dialogues completely. Um, those back in. Okay, so when it comes to dialogues, the short answer is no, I did not keep the dialogues. The long answer is, well, the dialogues. I just figured out that dialogue is not really mm, a thing that's going to make this game a better game, for several reasons actually. First of all, it's really hard to make it natural and fit into the overall arcadey gameplay nature of this game. Because when you look at the games like Another World or any other cinematic platformer where they were planned with storytelling from the start, and they interact with the story through gameplay very naturally. When it comes to Jump Adventures, I first thought, well, I just want to make a funny platformer game. I didn't think of an epic story and how um, it will get uncovered through gameplay. And so whenever I tried to add any story element, it felt unnatural. And yeah, that's pretty much the long answer to the question. So because of this, I decided to scrap dialogues or any story completely and focus on making this game fun gameplay wise instead of, well, lore rich or whatever. Have you actually finished that game Content Made You Buy, Castle Liquid? I actually didn't. Um, for PR reasons, I'm not going to criticize others' work, but I'll just say it short. I didn't. Let's keep the reasons for if a different type of communication method, I suppose. All right, I think I will finish the stream at 8:25 p.m. Meanwhile, you can ask any more questions or if there's none, I'll just end the stream right now because yeah, I've been streaming for quite a long time already. It's only. I guess you wrote about it in Game Corner a while ago. Mm, uh, I think I did. Like, there was no. It's not really that hard to find because I've been talking about this game for a few times already. But yeah, I'll keep my opinion about it in private, I suppose. The point of the stream is not to criticize and talk about others' games, but mostly about general game design slash development related to Jump Adventures, and potentially tangentially, but yeah. It's been a really long time ago. I actually soloed the old stream recordings a while ago, while I was because the idea of starting the stream was actually came to me when I saw that my last stream was my last development stream was like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, something like that, and it was also me working on Jump Adventures, and it was a really failed attempt at doing so, and I kind of wanted to redeem myself and actually make a stream where I do stuff and I know what I'm doing. Because back then I had no idea what I'm doing. It's been because back then I had no prior OOP experience, like didn't know any software patterns, how to do stuff, and I also was pretty new to C sharp, so you can imagine how bad it was. So yeah, not saying that I'm a brilliant programmer right now, but back then it was horrendous. Right. I'm actually quite happy that after that people actually came to the stream. Thank you very much, guys. And I really appreciate this, even though, well, it wasn't a really exciting one. Uh, it's fine. We all yeah. It's fine. I realized that, well, these times are long gone. I changed, you changed, probably all the people who were in the streams changed as well. It's just nice to look back and revise the old times and see how things changed. And yeah, so don't worry about it. I remember creating grenade for DL. Yeah, these were the times. Jesus, DL was even older than Dying World. It was like, wait. Uh, you made that grenade for a project that was for Dark Life before it was even actually called Dark Life, I think. Yeah, it was almost 5 years ago, something like that. It was a lot of fun to test till now. It actually was, like, I remember. Okay, here's a small confession, right? Looking back, I'm cringing really hard, but back then I took these tests very seriously and close to my heart. Because, well, let's be real, right? These demos didn't look, well, good. Let's be straight about this. And, well, yeah, knowing that I was taking them seriously and looking back at how these builds look like made me chuckle a bit while I was watching all these replays, VODs or whatever. I have the version where the grenades were introduced or something like that. Are you talking about the first version with like the open ceiling, or are you talking about the? God, I can't even distinguish those. When were first thing you added the deal was a tram? Yeah, I remember when. I remember when we had an idea to add a tram, add a tram with like the troops. That was this is back then it sounded like a cool idea, but thinking about this now, it's such a stupid idea. Remember when we thought about like adding like a tram with which is used by elite forces to get to different places? And this tram was supposed to be like this all reinforced with like guns or whatever. Do you remember this? Because I do, and it's pretty hilarious now that I think about it. Like, just imagine a normal city, right? And you just have policemen getting to the spot using. Well, no, not policemen. It was a special task force or whatever. Imagine an elite special task force. Yeah, that was cool, but yeah, but Tram ended up drifting across the map because it was testing it up, but testing it out. But yeah, I do remember. Wow, that was such a long time ago. Well, I'm kind of glad I have all of these memories at one. Okay, let me show this. Because okay, I'm really sorry. As I said, I was a really I was a really annoying kid back in the day, so I liked to troll everyone with like fake alpha builds or whatever. Um, and that old DL version also turned on SteamVR. I actually don't know. I think it's a default Unreal thing. It's not supposed to happen, at least. Not sure why it does. It's probably because SteamVR does it. Well, I mean Unreal by default. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'll make more development streams. Maybe not maybe not, well, soon, but at some point in the development, that's for sure. Because, well, I haven't really revealed really that much about the game. There's not a lot that is known and what is not. I think when there will be a next trailer, or when it will be closer to the release in this year, I think this will be the right time to either make a development stream or a Q&A stream. I think it would be a great idea. Also, notice how like the history repeats itself. Like, but this time I actually have a game that's going to release, and it's going to release on Steam. Because it all started with me just making streams, Q&A streams, and answering people's questions, and making a Discord server. And yeah, that's pretty fun. I think how far in it, so not so far I came. I mean, we came, because, well, I owe a lot of my life decisions and life sort of like experience to the people I worked with. Few years ago, it is a Dangle on Discord. Oh, I for- I forgot that. Yeah, I forgot that that Dang World was also like hosted on Discord, like using the Discord store. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, actually, in all fairness, Discord store was actually pretty had potential, because I think it's much nicer when it comes to tooling and convenience. But ultimately, they decided not to work on it and kind of mm, scrap the whole idea, which is kind of sad, but understandable when you have other platforms. Wait, I think the music is way too quiet. Let me just. Earliest demo with Nades I could find is from 2019, and it's called Dang World 385479. However, it is 100%. It's not the it 100%. It's not the version when. Yeah, I think it's this version is when the game was on Discord, and it's probably the version when it was in Godot. It's not the Unreal version, because it uses this funny ID thingy. I think it's what Discord used to use. I don't have HDs right now, so I can. Yeah, that's quite unfortunate. I think I still have all of the oldest builds on my Google Drive laying somewhere. I just need to find them, but I don't really have the first ever version. Probably just lost to the time, or maybe not. Maybe not, because I think the project. I think I have the project files hosted somewhere in here for whatever reason. Though I still have the very first quote unquote game design documents, which are not even game design documents, but just a wish list of suggestions. Uh, yeah, before Discord it wasn't Game Jolt, so you'll have a very high chance of finding it there. Also, fun fact: as an exercise in music production, I recently, well, not recently, but a while ago, I actually decided to remake all of the tracks from the game as an exercise. I'm gonna be honest. Well, it is fun, but probably will never release the tracks because I don't really have the rights to do so, since all the soundtracks are the property of the composer, but I can't really just take them and remix them without his explicit permission. So I don't think it's happening, but could be fun if we could settle on agreement. Alright, so I think I'll end the stream in 5 minutes now, since it's getting a bit out of topic. Okay, now that I muted my game, I can agree with config change music for next stream. Yeah, I need to do something with that, like... I mean, I could have used my old playlist with electro swings, but... I took a quick listen and... Well... Maybe you... I didn't really like it, but... As in stream music, but we'll see. Maybe you guys will like it, so I'll try it for the next stream. Because I kind of agree with you, lo-fi doesn't really fit me when it comes to vibe and music preferences. Feels like a therapy session, you know? Somewhere bass will fit perfectly. Obviously, yes. Very good music to energize and concentrate at the same time, especially with the lyrics that her bass usually has. Uh, you could just play copyrighted music on stream and then upload a version of NCS after that. Well, the problem is that I kind of want to keep the VODs, you know, and if I were to keep the VODs and just I don't want to go into that hassle of replacing all of that music with NCS. Uh, just some. Yeah, I need to think about that for the next time, because didn't think this through that much when I decided to stream. I just thought I'll get away with just opening up OBS and just showing my screen. Didn't expect any music playing, so yeah, that's the entire story. Okay, so my ISP decided it's time already. Hope my stream didn't die completely. But yeah. Okay, so I think it's time to wrap things up. Thanks everyone for coming. Thanks everyone for chatting. It was a pleasure seeing you all. Really glad to see you all here. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you, well, wishes it the game on Steam first and foremost. And see you next time. Bye bye. Oh, I just realized I don't have the black screen scene. Yeah. Bye bye.